is kind of a true anniversary, isn't it? Because did that happen on a Tuesday?
Yes, it is. It is a true anniversary.
This is the first year, too, where I may sound like the sorriest SOB ever saying this, but I'll be honest with you. This is the first year where I've felt nothing.
Really?
Just nothing. I woke up this morning. First off, I didn't even realize, maybe the events of last week kind of took over my brain a little bit, but I wasn't even aware that we were closing in on it until I read my Time magazine a couple days ago, and they had an article on 9/11. I was like, oh, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, I was a little bit behind the curve, becoming aware that the day was approaching myself, probably due to the events of last week. But I've been mindful of the day all day today. But you know what? I don't begrudge anybody for not thinking that much of it anymore, because you know what? I mean, you just can't wallow in it forever. Life goes on.
Yeah.
You know?
There have been so many memorials and done everything that can be done. I'll tell you something else they've done. I was watching some of the shows last night. They had specials. They had one talking about the elevator shaft, people that were in the elevator when they hit. I think they've done everything they can do.
I
don't think there's any more news that can come out.
And I have seen every one of those shows. Everything that A&E did, the History Channel, Discovery, every special that's been run. And you remember the two French guys that made the documentary on it? They were the first ones who did it, I believe, because they were shooting right around the towers when it happened. I mean, I've seen all that stuff. I've seen it all. And it's not that I don't feel sorry for the families of the victims, but because I still do feel for them. But for me, that just horrible feeling, that pit in my stomach that lasted for about 1 year, I'm just done with that. I'm done with it. And, the last time that I got it back was when I saw Flight 93, or United 93. And that freaked me out a little bit. But after that, it's just kind of like you're saying, man, it just moved on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pick up and go on. You can't stay in that place forever.
Now, I'm not going to forget it.
No. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying anybody should, or that, with a little bit of thought, it's probably pretty easy for me to, put myself back in that place and put myself back in that day and just remember what it was like and everything.
Now, probably the people that weren't involved, like us, directly, can do that.
Yeah.
But I guarantee if you lost somebody there in any of the three different locations,
or if you were
in there and you got out and you're wounded now, or if you got out and you're just normal,
or if you were just in the city witnessing all that.
I bet it's a little bit harder to put it behind you then.
Right, the good officer was there on that day.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was.
Where at? Was he around it?
He was pretty close by.
Did he have to evacuate? Did he?
I can't. I don't know. I don't think he had to evacuate or anything.
Wow.
But he was, fairly close by that day. But I don't know. You just can't roll around in it forever.
No, and there's an article in Time, this week's Time magazine, where this author asked the question, a guy named Jeffrey Kluger, when is enough enough? When do you stop?
Yeah.
He says a lot of
God bless it.
A lot of Americans are...
Call 911, killer.
Please do. Are quietly and guiltily asking themselves that question this week. A 6th anniversary is an awkward thing without the raw feeling of a first or the numerical tidiness of a 5th or 10th. The families of the people murdered that day need no calendrical gimmick to feel their loss, but a nation of 300 million is another matter.
That's what I said.
Yeah, just, I think a lot of people are kind of feeling that way. It's just, I can't believe that I woke up this morning and I did notice that when it was about 20 after 8 o'clock, I was like, man, this is when it all hit the fan. And I thought about that for a minute. And then that was really it. And I heard Dunham and Miller talk about it for 5 minutes or so this morning when I got in the car to take my kid to school. But beyond that, it's just another day, man. As horrible as that sounds, it just kind of is. I've just kind of gone about my day, and every now and then it pops into my head, 2-3 times, but that's it. Whereas before, it seemed like every year, especially those first 3 years.
Is there going to be anything on TV tonight about it?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know.
We see the guide section.
I don't know. And that's kind of a
TV listings in this thing.
That's kind of a telltale sign too of the barometer of interest, is whether or not these guys got anything going. I mean, is there a Dateline or 2020 or something going on?
On network TV, there is nothing, but you will get The Biggest Loser, you will get The Jerk, and you will get Big Brother 8. Now, if we move down to the cable news channels.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they are. Surely they're going to do something.
Discovery Channel, nothing.
Or what about Fox News and CNN and all that?
A&E, nothing.
Wow.
What?
Nothing.
I can't believe those stations don't have anything running. Boy, this is crazy. I can't believe in prime time, nothing.
Maybe it's time.
We gotta go.
Whoa! Hey, Snake.
Yes.
Can I read this here real quick?
I mean, I guess.
Ooh, dee-da-doo-da-dee-da-doo-da-doo-da, dee-da-doo-da-doo-dee.
I don't know. What did you just read me?
I don't know. What is happening?
All right, that is E-News. It's $4.51 on the ticket.
Happening.
All right, we gotta go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can you still get beans?
Where?
I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Get on with this.
Go. All right, we got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Well, okay, Danny, what?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You ever had sex at White Rock Lake?
Actually, that's a really good question. Unfortunately, no, I have not.
Why?
I don't know, man. Timing, I guess.
I'm just asking.
I know you're asking.
Get on with this.
Well, we got to go.
Whoa! I guess it's back.
All right, very nicely
Snake
done.
Man.
Yes.
What was that?
Mino.
Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
I'm here still.
Squirrels are better than babies.
In a way, I guess so.
Get on with this.
You did it. I didn't do anything.
I don't care.
The football weekend next.
Hey, Corby.
Yes, Danny.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you guys like hamburgers?
I don't even think that was a drop. I think you did that.
Man. This isn't a drop.
Right, that was all real. I can tell the difference.
Damn it.
Thank you.
I thought we could pull one over on you.
No. By the way,
do you guys like hamburgers?
That'll be one now. Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
Yes, Danny.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Who is your favorite band, Social Distortion?
Of all time?
I'm just asking.
No, they're not.
Why?
Well, they're just not.
I don't care.
Why'd you ask?
Shut up.
Okay, God.
Take a break. Almighty.
God. All right, that is E-News.
So much for less is more.
Boy, tell me about it. It's $4.52 on the ticket.
That one and when the girl stuck the phone in her hoo-ha. That was fun.
All right, we got to.
Hey, Snake.
Yeah, waiting for something like that this year.
Hang on, Mike. Yes, Danny.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Do black people like tacos?
Well, according to the commercial, I like tacos.
I bet they do.
Yes.
What? I bet they do.
Okay.
They can't
Thank
hear
you,
it.
Danny.
Bye.
Thank you. That's the family of the 3-year-old girl that went missing last week.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
What's your normal Starbucks order? Have you ever ordered anything insane?
Insane? No, I just go with coffee and maybe a...
That sounds like a train station fitness program.
God, it does. What's your normal Starbucks order? Have you ever ordered anything insane?
What are you ordering for your
this
Starbucks?
is George C. John. Why do we crap your pants? Have you ever thought about it? Saturday, 7 a.m. on the train station.
Why do we crap your pants? Like him and his friends go to your house and crap your pants.
They grab your pants out of the dirty clothes.
Why do we, plural people, crap your pants? What about mud?
All right, we got to go.
All right, that is Community Quick Hits at 6:35 here on the Ticket.
Oh, man. All right, we got to go.
All right, there you go.
Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
Yes, Danny, man.
I had an ex that had an uncle that played at FSU, and he had pictures with celebrities.
Man, what a tie into Hollywood that is.
What a bizarre story.
Shut up.
It's 4:51 on the Ticket.
Terrible.
All right, we got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Yes.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Well, who?
Will you guys bring me a tree?
Yes, I'll bring you a tree.
Son of a bitch.
I know. Well, see you later.
What if it was the Atlanta Vibrators? That would be interesting. Anyway, so the Atlanta Falcons. Those are other possible names for them. All right.
You want a quick fun fact that'll take 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
I can play Red Barchetta on the bass, note for note.
All right. Thank you, Danny.
I love
We got to go.
But as long as we're here, did you know that the DFW airport covers almost 27 square miles, which makes it larger than the island of Manhattan?
I did not know that.
Fascinating.
Well, you told the story.
I like how I started that sentence, as long as we're here. As long as we're here. That was a drop.
Where else are we going to go?
I don't know. Between 3 and 7, where are we going to be?
As long as we're here.
What are you doing here? It's like there's somewhere else we could be, and we might want to be, but we're not there. We're here, so
hey,
there.
As long as we are here, here's a little information about the DFW airport.
Good information.
Go. I got one on my bicep, one on the wing. Play your cards right, you might get to meet them both.
Take your pick.
All right.
Hey,
are you
Snake.
finished here?
Oh, I am finished here.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Is this e-news?
No. Well, it's over, you dumbass.
Why?
Well, because we're out of time. All right, let's get into this fella who is from
Aren't you going
here.
to give him the last word?
Who?
Danny. He always has the last word of these conversations.
Go
Shut
ahead.
up.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
If once is twice as good, then twice as good.
Your math is deplorable, and we have to go.
All right. That is entertainment news for today.
That was Danny on The Price is Right.
It's 4:53 here on the Ticket.
We got to go. Coming up next, we find out what Danny did last. Oh, hang on. Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
I once banged some old broad from Springtown. She had tattooed boobs.
We'll find out more about this.
I don't remember
next.
that. That never happened.
Whatever.
All right, then. That is what we call
Hey,
entertainment
Snake.
news.
Yes, Danny.
I watched a uterus transplant on TV earlier.
Oh, really? Well, okay.
That was a drop.
It's 4:51 on the Ticket.
All right, we got to go.
Damn it.
All right, there you go.
By the way,
Snake.
just to reiterate, Oscars at 5:50. Yes, Danny.
I opened up the cabinets underneath my sinks last night.
It's good, little buddy.
Shut up.
Okay, you told me.
And that's probably enough.
Hey, Snake.
Probably need. Yes, Danny.
I don't know.
Well,
Okay. What else you got?
Hey, Snake.
yes, Danny.
I don't know.
All right.
We got to go ahead and wah.
E-News. It is 4:50 here on the Ticket.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm a candidate. I'm going to Tarrant County College, the Northeast campus, to talk to a couple of government classes.
Would you like for Dan to go with you?
Man, that sounds hot.
I'd love it, actually.
Oh, he'll be right over.
Hey, my friend Danny has a story he wants to tell you real quick. Is that cool?
Sure.
My pig found itself smart enough to hop over the barrier from his pen to the next pen and eat all of that pig's food, then go to the next one and eat all of that pig's food, and then the next one and eat all of that pig's food, and make his way back in time for when it was my time to feed him. He had already eaten 3 meals and was just sitting there waiting for me, and I would feed him and he would eat that. That's why he gained so much weight and got sifted at the Fat Stock Show.
I got nothing.
That's usually our reaction as well, Jan.
Man. Well, Jan, happy birthday.
Hey, Snake.
I mean, they're kind of in their natural element doing that.
So you like that, but you don't like teeth.
No.
So you would rather have a woman holding a giant trout than a woman who has teeth?
Hey, Snake.
Yes,
certain
Danny.
kinds of teeth.
Guess what?
What do you mean certain kind of teeth? Like
Hey,
piranha?
Snake.
What, Danny?
Guess what?
What?
Hair grows on the average about a ½ inch a month.
Oh, thanks.
Son of a bitch.
Why is Mike so anti-teeth?
In addition to holding a fish, she is a little on the toothy side.
Mike, just stop with that.
We all have teeth.
Hey, Snake.
Yeah?
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
My grandparents were probably 70 at the time. I was about 8 or 9. And I woke up in the middle of the night. My granddad was trying to fool around with my grandmother. And she said, "Daddy quit. I think Danny's awake." And then he said, "Mammy, that's a mighty good feeling pee."
He screwed the story up. It's dynamite. Dynamite.
Shut up.
Okay.
That aired?
Yeah, that aired.
Good.
Hey, Snake.
Do you know how much money Trembling Hills has made off of her over the last 15 years?
She hates you.
Poor Layla.
She's like their poster child.
Right. Keeps
Hey,
coming
Snake.
back for more. What, Danny?
I have something to add to this segment.
Go.
I wonder if you can buy a Yamaha motorcycle on Amazon.
I don't know, man.
We'll try.
Man.
Why? Hey, Snake.
Oh,
You know,
What?
with all those kids walking out, don't they just make themselves better targets? I mean, they're safe.
What, are you walking out?
You'd think.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
My human friend from Austin named Don Cheeto just texted me from an article from 2 years ago that said the world's last VCR will be made this month.
Thanks.
Don Cheeto.
My human friend.
My humanoid.
Don Cheeto.
Cool.
There's nowhere to stand as far as any shelter from the elements. Now, you want to see some cool holes? Hells.
Yeah, we do.
The hell?
We're always monitoring.
What a clown. If you want to see some really cool holes, then... Why don't...
Get on with this. You hired him. We could have had anybody, and you picked this ass nut.
hey, Danny.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
That was a drop.
That was a drop.
Hey, Dan.
What?
Guess what?
What?
That was a drop.
Hey, Dan. I didn't even do it.
Yeah.
Guess what I have in my underwear?
I don't know, Danny. What?
Coleslaw, brisket, army men, cheeseburgers, diarrhea.
Oh, it's...
Hey, Snake.
And an abortion.
Yes, Danny.
That was a drop.
Okay.
I love this.
Bob, do my pick.
Hey, Bob. Do it, Bob.
I don't know how to do one.
Yes, Mike.
That was a drop.
Left out the middle part.
Well, today is Thursday, March 20.
Oh.
Hey, Snake.
What, Danny?
I have something to add to this segment.
Go ahead.
Guess what?
What?
My best friend that had the satellite dish, he had an older sister, and she had a pickup truck that had vanity plates, and her name was Sonia, and she spelled her name backwards on her vanity plates, and it spelled anus. Back to you.
You got a lot of friends.
Oh.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, Dan.
Guess what?
I don't know, Dan. What?
I sometimes eat cake for breakfast.
Danny, will you please make a book of
sometimes eat cake for breakfast?
Stories from your childhood?
Oh, a coffee
They're
table
awesome,
book
man.
with illustrations.
It'd be amazing.
Like a children's book?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
My best friend in high school had a sniglet published.
Like, who knows where he would take us on that journey?
Oh,
Talked to a brother friend of mine the other night, and I asked him if he was going to go see that movie, and he said, "Hell yeah, because it's got The Rock in it."
Humanoid friends and brother friends.
Yep.
I have a human
and
friend
brother
named
friends.
Max.
All right. We got to go.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know,
Snake.
I know. Yes, Danny. Yes, Danny.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
You can't eat You can't eat acid every day.
I mean,
you missed that while you were
kinda
going.
right.
That's not a good word. That's not a good word to stop in the middle of when you're saying that
No,
phrase.
it's really not.
Play it again.
Especially the word before it is eat.
Yeah.
510 on the
acid. You can't eat acid every day. Then.
Let's see here.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Do you have a lot of white people in your neighborhood?
Yeah, there's... Yes.
Why?
I don't know. They just moved in there.
Get on with this.
Well, you asked me the question.
Shut up.
All right, we got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
My friend was driving in the Grove one night and got chased in the middle of a road with a guy with a chainsaw.
Wow.
Back to you.
Well, I'm done. I'm already...
I don't care.
Okay.
Shut up.
Oh, God.
Go.
Shut up. I'm bipolar.
I can't top that. Worst summer bash ever.
The worst. Because wasn't the stage sinking in the mud?
Yes, it was.
You cross Lake Worth as you're going west on 199, and it just suddenly appears out of nowhere. What? What appears?
It.
A ghost? Elvis? Boom. A Mike ghost.
Oh, man. That's funny.
Oh.
All right.
Are we got to go?
That's what he says.
With Marty Turco, he's ready to go in like 15 minutes.
Oh, well, God, we're going to be done, Danny. You better tell Marty sooner.
That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah, I want the Craig Miller Show on ABC, not Netflix.
We'll set that up for you.
Who is that?
All right, let's take a break.
Snake.
Everybody from the radio station will
Hey,
be on
Snake.
next to voice the... What,
Hey,
Danny?
Snake.
Yes, what?
Guess what?
What?
Halloween is Tuesday.
All right.
Shut up.
This is Radio through.
All right, we got to go.
No. Can you hurry up with this? Because I got to pee. I mean, it's over.
All right, that is E-News. It's 5:13 here on the ticket.
All right, we got to go.
Man, that was good E-News, dude.
Damn right.
No questions today?
No.
Okay.
Do you have any, Danny?
You tell me.
Well, you're the one asking them.
Yeah, you are. He has nothing to do with them.
Okay, we're letting everybody down. You know that, don't you?
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
So what are you guys doing later tonight?
I don't know, man. Just go to
Get on with this.
Okay, go.
So, yeah.
Gotta go.
There you go.
Hey,
There's
Snake.
your e-news. Yes, Danny.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Did you ever find anything out about the dude that jumped off the bridge?
I don't think so, Danny.
Wow.
Well,
what was that question? Did you ever find anything out about the dude that jumped off the bridge? The dude.
Armed with that question.
God. Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
It's a big adrenaline rush to video a chick pooping.
I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Get
bro.
on with this.
Well, I was just responding to you.
I don't care.
Okay. By the way.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Shut up.
Why do you have to, address me for that?
Get on with this.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, Danny.
Shut up.
How are we going to work?
I can't shut up. What do you want me to do if I shut up?
He doesn't know.
My pig
I don't want to hear your pig story.
Smart enough to hop over. Seriously, man, I can't today. Give me a break. Just today.
There are, okay.
I'm in a mood.
They're showing the temple.
All right, we got to go. Unless you guys have any other stories.
I got like 6.
Okay, do one.
You guys weren't any help today.
Do one.
Did you ever see a guy with a fake head? Yeah, there's a story.
You guys are just bad.
Did you guys hear about the guy with the bionic penis? There's another one. Is this the guy that lost his feet?
All right, we got to go. We got funny bit.
Bad. Certainly is not.
No. All right,
hey,
we gotta
Snake.
Go.
Snake Lee just walked past.
Yes, Danny.
Let me ask you something.
What?
Let me play you something from my computer. Can I?
Yeah?
Don't be a retard. Training camp in Oxnard. We're gonna have a good time. Having sex with the Hardline. Don't be a retard. Get yourself to Oxnard. Training camp is fun for you. Now take off your pants and do some kung fu. Making love in the morning with Norman and Corby on the beach in Oxnard.
There you go.
Wow.
There's the official Oxnard theme song that we hadn't heard in about 12 years.
Make it about 18.
Yeah,
okay.
A lot longer than that. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever heard that.
Yeah, you have, but I'm not sure we're supposed to play it.
What are you going to do?
Oof.
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission. That is Community Quick Hits at 6:35 here on the ticket.
No.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you something.
Okay, go ahead, Danny.
Is this e-news?
No. We're just starting it, so yes, it is.
Whoa!
I know, it's weird. It's really weird.
Man, I'm sorry that caught you by such surprise.
Yep.
All right, we got to go,
Hey,
man.
Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
Can't imagine.
I'm going to go to California. California, gotta go to California.
All right.
Shut up. I'm going to go to California. California, gotta go to California. God.
That is entertainment news.
Yeah, so you're right, man.
All right, we got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You guys there?
Well, you've been talking to us for 30 minutes.
Look at the glass and tell us if you think we're here.
All right, Mike, let's take a break because there was one
Snake.
notable... hang on, Danny. One notable omission of E-News, and that is Aretha Franklin. We need to get to her next. But yes, Danny.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
But okay.
Would you guys like to hear a Dallas Cowboys joke?
Sure. Why not?
What's the difference between women and cows?
I don't know. What's the difference between women and cows?
When you pull on a cow's boob, it doesn't crap on the floor. I'm funny.
What the hell?
What just happened?
Go.
This is Sports Radio 1310 and 96.7 FM, The Ticket.
Hey, Snake.
I probably went 10 minutes without chewing it.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
Don't know what.
Oh, no. Me and my friend were boxing in my front yard, and this girl that I went to kindergarten with lived about 3 houses down, came over, invited us to her house, and said she had something to show us in the backyard. We followed her. She went through, and we stood out by her side yard with the fence closed. She pulled her panties down, squatted, and made mud right in front of me and my friend, and pulled her panties back up, and we stood there and looked at it. And then my friend poked it with a stick, and then we went back home.
That's the best story ever.
I think it's time
that was a drop.
The Marconi for the year.
Poked it with a stick.
And then went back home.
Like they were worried it was going to move?
Yeah, like it was live.
Like when they poked the Demigorgon?
Like in Stranger Things, yes.
When 11 threw it into the room?
Uh-huh. So there you go. There are the all-time biggest-selling records ever in the United States of these Americans.
Noteworthy because the Eagles overtook Michael Jackson.
They did.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
I don't want to play golf with you.
Well, I don't want to play golf with you either. Jerk. Why do you have to sing it to me? All right. Now I can't wait. Now we have that. I can't wait to ask you to play golf.
I don't want to play golf with you.
I want to die.
Right now, though, let's roll on with more College Football Tuesday.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When was the last time you put your finger in your own butt?
I thought this was a sports show.
I don't know. It's been a while, Danny.
When did I say that? That was a drop.
I don't know when you said that, but you said it at some point.
In your...
Yeah. And you're right, Bob.
This show is terrible.
This is a sports show on a sports station, and we do not need those kinds of hijinks.
This is supposed to be a family show.
I heard you guys, when I landed in town, I wanted to turn on the best sports show in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I heard?
Yes.
That's
when
right.
was the last time you put your finger in your own anus?
Now we got it twice.
Well, on that note, that
shout out to my
Snake.
P1 husband.
Oh.
P1 husband John. I will put him to bed in that special way.
By the way, Jake, they were on vacation together for like a week in Nashville and Memphis and
Picks.
Just have a spittoon.
I got a few.
In the bed.
Pretty exciting.
Yes, Danny. What?
Guess what?
What?
I saw a couple walking across the street from Hooters to Hard Rock Cafe the other day that were, I don't know why, they obviously tourists, both decked out full on in Oklahoma gear.
Right.
Wow.
It's like the ecstasy kicked in before the story finished. Oh, wow. Let me hear that again.
Nikki Hughes.
I saw a couple walking across the street from Hooters to Hard Rock Cafe the other day that were, I don't know why, they obviously tourists, both
Take an X,
decked out
right?
full on in Oklahoma gear. Wow.
Like it just overwhelmed him.
Like it totally knocked him off his story.
That is some good ass, man.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
I read a hippo story on the internet yesterday.
Oh, well, good, little buddy.
Is that it, or are you done?
Well, both.
Shut up.
Okay.
5:13 on the ticket.
Let's see.
What's it in?
Let's go.
Zap to it or something like
We got
that.
a lot of audio, bro.
Yeah, we do, bro.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
You and I have a friend in common, Mike, that one time he took a girl home from a bar.
Tell him.
And didn't realize until the next day when he was driving her to her house that she was a midget.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. That audio is from like 1975.
I got something for you, Mike.
I'm on a remote in Malaysia right now, Mike.
Perhaps as a zygote, you could have beaten him.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
There was a newborn sleeping under a mosquito net at his home in eastern India. A monkey scooped him up and carried him away. They believe the monkey ran up a tree and lost the grip of the infant, and the infant fell from a tree and went into a well. Because when they retrieved the body of the infant, it had not been traumatized by monkey teeth or monkey hands.
I have no recollection of that.
Nor do I.
Where did that come
Pretty
from?
good, though.
Monkey hands.
I don't even know who that is.
What? How drunk do you sound there?
I don't even know who that is.
Golly.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, she beautiful and she fine. All right, we got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What? Is that Danny doing Boys to Men?
It's Ariana Grande.
Oh, it is. It's Danny doing Ariana Grande. All right. Thank you, Danny. That was beautiful.
Shut up.
Their last record drop.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
Nah.
I got lost at a Kmart once.
Oh, I'm sorry, little buddy.
To do one more, and then we'll do some CQH.
Well, it's 5:15, and we have a Cowboy segment coming up next.
Wow. That means I can go home.
Yeah.
Go ahead. There's nothing to say after that.
Is this going to be long?
Just go. We got to go. We have got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Ain't got no time for that. Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
Drop.
What?
I love you.
Just go.
It's 5:13 on the ticket.
All right, we got to go.
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Would you guys like to hear a Dallas Cowboys joke?
Yeah, I would.
Why do most people use umbrellas?
I don't know, Danny.
I don't know, man. You can ask somebody else.
That's the Dallas Cowboys joke?
I don't know, man. You can ask somebody else. That is the worst joke ever.
God. All right, it's College Football Tuesday next.
Shut up. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got to go.
I have a thought that just crossed my mind, Cobra.
Well, go ahead, Dingu. What?
I'm gay.
All right. Finally.
All right, we learned something out of this.
Yeah.
That is E-News. It is 4:53 here on the ticket.
And we'll end on that bummer note.
Before we go, I have an update on the guy with the gigantic nuts.
Go ahead.
He broke his wiener, didn't he?
Gigantic.
I'm just asking.
Oh, you were telling.
Is this the guy that lost his feet?
I don't know.
How do you? I don't know, man. You have to ask somebody else. How do you lose your feet?
I don't know. Why'd you look it up on your phone?
All right, I will.
I still do.
Oh, my God.
See
what you did?
Hey, Snake.
Yes, Danny.
Steers ain't got no nuts.
Oh, thank you. Why were you country, Danny?
I don't know, Corby. I'm not an astronaut. You'll have to tell me.
Let's see here.
Time.
Oh, yeah, it's time.
Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
Yes, Bayless Man.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
You ever play football?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
And I just answered, man.
Shut up.
Okay, you asked.
Man.
All right, college football next. Oh, man. Oh, God. All right, we got to
Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
Yes.
I had a friend of mine named Ted Phelps that went bald at 18.
Wow, Danny.
I had a friend that was always trying to get us to look at his sister naked. I had a friend that bit into a chicken taco once, and there was a chicken foot in it.
Anything else?
I did have a friend when I was back in metal bands that met a girl, and things were getting heavy. And he went, south of the equator and discovered a lightning bolt right above the promised land. Mm-hmm. Looked up and said, clearly this is your first time.
Okay. Coming up next, Karate Talk.
Wait, I'm not done. I had a friend whose parents had a peacock farm, and we'd go stay at their house, and I was allergic to feathers, and all of their beds and pillows were made out of peacock feathers, and I'd go there and get real sick.
This is Sports Radio 1310 and 96.7 FM, The Ticket.
All right, we got to go.
Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
Yes, Danny.
Guess what?
What?
I alone do stuff.
Oh, thanks for singing live to me, Danny.
You hear that, Corby?
I just heard it.
You hear that, Mike?
I do. I'm right there with you on that.
That's good.
All right, let's eulogize.
What a waste of time.
Let's eulogize a massive death.
Hey, real quick, Snake Man.
Yes, Danny.
I don't remember.
Okay, it's all right. When you remember, you just come on back and you tell us, little buddy.
I don't care.
Have you guys seen the advertisements for Trumpy Bear?
Hang on, I want to say something. Happy birthday, Danny. I got something to add. I'm not kidding.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I think next year, if I have like a really bad year, this is what I want to do. Next year on this day, when Dan gets to this point of birthdays and says, born on this day, now dead, I'm going to say me and put a revolver to my temple and end it.
Shut it down! Let's go! Creativity.
Next level.
Let's do it.
All right.
Make it happen.
All right, we got a lot of tournament talk to get into today. We got a lot of Texas Tech talk. We got another Dirk 10 for 10 for you. We will take a look at the Rangers weekend. We'll have community quick hits at 6:10. We'll have e-news at 4:50.
What else?
But
what else?
I don't know. Am I missing something here? Or are you just what else?
Good.
I'm just asking.
I'm just trying to get through it. 3:35 here on the ticket.
What's on Mike's mind today? What's on Mike's mind? Everybody wants to know just what is on Mike's mind. Let's all gather around the fire and open up a bottle of wine. 'Cause everybody wants to know just what is on Mike's mind.
What's on Mike's mind today? What's on Mike's mind? Everybody wants to know just what's on his mind.
Was it called penises? Thank you. Who's being leveraged here?
Canton Hall and Vaughn Lane.
Master.
Well, it is April 1st. It is April Fool's Day. We are through the first quarter of the year. And you know where we're heading into, Corby?
The second quarter?
There. And you know what else?
What is April known as, Mike? You have names for all these months. We just passed the windy month.
Yes, we did.
What is April? The rainy month?
April showers bring May flowers, Corby.
Okay.
Cool. Neat.
It is also gator mating season down in Florida.
Is this unique content, Mike?
I think it is.
It is. Yeah.
We're staring at unique content.
Just checking.
I think we are staring at unique content.
Gator.
The type that you're probably not going to get anywhere else.
Gator mating season.
It's a hell of a way to start the show, in my opinion. Continue.
Well, yes, it is the start of gator mating season, and I must say, it has gotten off to a pretty smashing start down there because this past Thursday, down in the Florida burg of Jupiter.
How do they do it?
Animals have penises.
Oh.
Well, that answers the question.
Seriously, how do gators do that? Is there some sort of
Gators,
I don't know.
Gator style?
Some weird.
And she ate it.
This happened down in Jupiter, where the Jupiter Police Department, and Jupiter is somewhere down like at the southern tip.
Is that where
the
Tiger wrecked his car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Jupiter Police Department.
Or where Tiger lives.
Jupiter's also where Orchids of Asia was, right?
Yes, that's right.
A lot of activity there.
Yeah, quite the hub. Well, the police department, on one of the rare occasions where they were not preoccupied by the goings-on at Orchids of Asia, were alerted because a business owner who rides herd over his business in what looks to be a very average, spare, typical South Florida office park, probably the worst kind of scene that one can imagine to be involved in. He is, I guess, looking out his window one day, and he sees an alligator just loping along. This was not an ordinary one, though. This was a 12-footer. Nearly 750 pounds. Just walking along there. And he figured that he had better alert the authorities to this. And so he called 50, got them out there. They called animal control. And the next thing you knew, you had all manner of the authorities trying to figure out what to do with this. And somehow, probably by putting the gator under a little bit.
Trank the gator?
Yeah, tranking him. They were able to shut him down enough to where they could restrain his jaw and wrap it up and everything like that and get him out of there.
You know, you can hold a gator's jaw shut with your thumb and forefinger.
I don't think that's true.
You can. That's 100% true. You can put a rubber band around it and you can hold it shut like that.
Have you ever done that?
Now, you can't, when they open it, it's hard to close it.
Yeah.
But once it's closed, all you have to do is, that's a very well-known fact, animal fact.
The first time I've ever heard that.
Look it up on your phone. You'll see that I'm correct.
I've never heard of that either.
I think I'm right. I don't think I'm making that up.
Well, this dude drew quite a crowd down there.
You seem real confident.
Yeah, I know.
Of bypassers and other office park inhabitants and all that, but they said they were able to get the gator out of there without harm, and he was taken to a gator farm in Central Florida, where he will live out the remainder of his gator days.
What was he looking for, action?
Well, it's mating season.
I know, so I mean, that's...
Maybe he...
I gotta go get it.
This
right
was a few
now.
days before mating season. Maybe he wanted to, find him a nice gator piece and get a little jump on it before all the good ones were taken.
Do you understand how much better our lives would be if there was just a season for us? Like, instead of it being...
Like 2.5 months out of the year?
Instead, or whatever. How long does gator season last? Or mating season last? A month, maybe? We're like 1 month. You all know it's coming.
As it were.
Yeah, so to speak.
It runs through June.
Okay. But that's it. And then after that, it's just like, hey.
So they got like 3 months.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's all you need. And then you move on. And your lives aren't preoccupied
with...
with...
just live normal life for the other 9 months?
Yeah, and then you're
Get
like...
things done and...
Yes, you're productive and you're...
work out.
Friends, or you're hanging out with your buddies all the time, and you never even look at another girl. You don't think about another girl. You're not on smilf.com or whatever you'd like to look at, Mike.
Yeah, I don't look at much of anything these days.
You just live. And then for a couple of months, you get things moving.
Yeah, but you have to do it like all the time during those mating months, right?
No, that just means you're interested.
I think it increases in frequency.
Does that mean, too, that the female is ready as well? Like, she's into this?
Yes.
You don't have to wine and dine her? You just like, hey, it's mating season, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get this over with.
They just find each other and I don't know, maybe have a beer, a gator beer, and...
At Gators.
Then rear up on hind legs or whatever it is they do and hit it.
Why have we never seen gator videos?
Gator intercourse.
Like, we've seen every other animal.
I guarantee you I could find it real fast.
I don't want to. I feel that we'll get in trouble for that.
With who?
I don't know. Seriously.
Somebody.
Yeah.
We're being watched,
We are. Especially now. They're on us.
Okay.
They say that female alligators usually don't get beyond 10 feet long. American male alligators, though, grow larger, like this one. Their average size is a little bit over 11 feet, and they can also weigh up to 1,000 pounds. The heaviest on record was a 1,043-pounder down there in Florida.
Just amazing.
God.
Gators.
It's amazing that those things still exist.
Gators.
They're dinosaurs, man.
They are.
They're prehistoric creatures.
Yes, they are.
Living amongst us and among us.
Boy, this is a big thing, though, man. If you're just at work one day and you look out your cubicle window and out on the front lawn and you see this, man, I would flip.
What about the stories of finding them in the pool and all that stuff? Like you go back out, to your backyard and then boom, they're out there.
Sure, it's even worse.
There was some video that was posted a couple of weeks ago of people swimming in their pool and a gator sneaks in there and tries to kill them.
I don't doubt it, man.
All right, we got to go.
Yeah, we do.
30 seconds.
All right, it is time for us to take a look at the basketball events of the weekend, all except for one, which we'll get into later.
Well, joining us in here in the studio now, in a way I'm very, very extremely pleased to tell everyone, is not the well-known actor Joe Montana, but the great quarterback Joe Montana, the former 49ers great, the former Notre Dame great. How you doing?
Good. I like that applause. Where'd that come from?
Studio audience.
Yeah, we're giving it up for you, man. Now, blood pressure brings you down our way, huh?
Yeah. Actually, I was as surprised as you are, most likely, when I found out I had it.
You got high blood pressure?
Yeah, I found out about 2 years ago, and it was one of those things where I just went in for the normal checkup with my doctor, and I was feeling fine. And from the year before, I was fine. And when I got there this year, I was just trying to avoid thinking about the glove, and that was it. Wanted to get the heck out of there. And next thing I know is my doctor, she sent me to a cardiologist, because my blood pressure was extremely high. And
you had no idea?
I had no idea. The thing about this disease is there's no symptoms, and usually, as they say, your first symptom is when you have a stroke, and they call it the silent killer because there is no symptoms. And I felt great. I felt fine, but I literally was as shocked as anyone else to find out about it. Yet my mother had it, her two brothers have it, and my grandfather had passed away at age 54 from heart disease. So it was in front of me. I just was one of those typical guys, blind to athlete, saying, nothing's going to hurt me. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to get hurt. And little did I know or expect this to come about.
Well, you look the same. I mean, you probably hadn't put on more than 5 pounds since your playing days. So you look healthy.
Well, I felt like I was doing enough. I cut back my exercise routine a little bit. The neat thing about this campaign and the reason I got involved was it had affected me directly and my family. And it came about 8 months or so after I had found out. And I had gone through exactly what they were talking about. And where the campaign is really all about getting out and starting a dialogue with your doctor. Because that's where you just got to find out whether you have it or not. And it's as simple as getting your blood pressure taken. And once you do that, then if you have it, how we started was you start looking at your exercise routine, which I had cut back some since I had retired. Eating, I was a junk food junkie, and I love all the bad stuff for you on the road, traveling. Give me the bag of potato chips, the cheeseburger, whatever I love it all. So
you had to make some changes there too.
But it's not that you cut everything out; it's just do things in moderation.
Right.
And I've learned to live with that, and I actually don't really recognize that I've changed my diet because I haven't changed a whole lot of it. And the other is getting on a medication that's right for you, and typically you'll go through some medication changes. I started on one that didn't work and ended up on one that's a combination of two medicines called Latrell that significantly lowered my blood pressure and got it under control along with and then the diet and the exercise help keep it there and maintain that. And so it's been a kind of strange couple of years for me getting used to that, but
and this all been like in a couple years?
Yeah, it's been within about 2 year period. And the thing about it is, what's so nice and unique about this is that this disease, there's 65 million Americans with it, 1 in 3 that have high blood pressure. But you can make changes and have it affect you, almost instantly by getting this dialogue started. And to be able to see the results this quick, when you're doing this kind of work, really is gratifying to you in the end, because you hear people coming up to you in the airport. I have a friend of mine who started a company, and as a limo company, I said, well, okay, whenever I need, I'll take and just try to help keep you in business. And what happens is, he says, why? He heard that I was doing this, so he went and got his blood pressure checked, and sure enough, it was high. And he ended up getting it straightened out, and he's, well, thanks, I would have never done that if it wasn't for you. So it's great to be able to see people can make a difference and make it quickly that way.
Now, there's a website, www.healthybp.com, right?
Yeah, and for the non-tech people, 800 number, 866-556-3866.
And what would one find when one goes to the website?
It actually will get you started taking a look at some of the things you should be doing, maybe some dialogue, maybe some tips that you should be talking to your doctor about, and things to help you get started on that. Making sure you're eating correctly, your diet is right, your nutrition, and also your exercise routine, and the type of things that we're talking about. You can get it on both the website and the 800 number.
Are you currently on Latrell right now?
Yes, I am.
That's what I take too.
Yeah,
take that also. So
it's been great for me.
Once you get the dosage right.
Yeah, because I was we were talking about this earlier, and my doctor was really cautious, and I thought she'd give me a normal dose, and it really was a half dose, and it started to move a little bit, and then. Because when I first started, I said, when I first got on it, once I doubled the dose, I was fine. And they said, once I told them after, because I had started with the campaign after that, and they said, no, that's the normal dose you're taking. Yeah. Your doctor just must have wanted to be extra cautious.
Yeah, I was just opposite.
Great.
I took the normal, and I had to cut it in half.
That's great.
I was just so sluggish.
So that means I'm double as bad as you.
Believe me, you're a lot more than double greater than me, that's for sure.
What does your exercise routine consist of?
Well, right now, because of my knee, one of my knees is bone to bone, I'm kind of stuck to the treadmill, the stationary bike, or the Stairmaster. And I try to get in, if I'm late for somewhere, I try to get in 30 minutes at the minimum. But most of the time, I'm 45 to an hour. And the other day, like yesterday, I had nothing to do, so I was an hour and a half on cardio. And I'll switch between those three things and watch a movie or whatever. And then I get about 3 days, maybe sometimes 4 days of light lifting in a week at the same time. But that's only because I feel comfortable at those levels, and I know that it takes me that much to get that work. Sometimes it won't. That's not the kind of exercise we're talking about in changing your exercise routine when we talk about this program. It's a lot simpler.
Well, what are we talking about then?
Well, they're trying to get you to find some way to just be moving for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they say it's as simple as, if you're on the 10th floor, don't take the elevator. Just walk up 10 flights of steps, or find a way to park your car further away and walk to the office.
Right.
Just doing simple things of that nature can increase your activity level.
What are things like for you when you come to this part of the world? Because we were talking before we went on that in your football playing days, you dealt teams in this part of the world their fair share of misery over the years. How do people treat you in this part of the world?
Actually, it's all been really positive. And it's fun to come here. I've always had a lot of respect for the teams that we played down here. And I grew up, my cousin was a Cowboy fan, and from day one, he won't admit it, but growing up outside of Pittsburgh, so I grew up a Steeler fan, and I've always had tremendous respect for the team. The high school sports around in this state are tremendous also. So it's just, it's fun to be able to come down, and you almost treat it like not a brother or a relative, because you hear so much about it. It used to be Pennsylvania and Texas played.
Right, and that big 33 game or what it was.
Yeah, and so I'd heard a lot about it, and so I always keep an eye on it. and it's nice to see to be able to come down. When you come into the state, you're playing very respectable, if not the best teams out there.
And when you talk about legendary games, you're involved in, when we talk about Texas football, in probably two of the most of all time. Of course, the catch, which people around here will never forgive you for that, no matter what. But the other one was, I think, one of the most remarkable performances ever was the Cotton Bowl against Houston, where you came out of the sick bay at halftime and just rallied the team. What, you guys were 21 down?
It was, I can't remember, 34 to 10 or something like that. It was somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, the game was going a particular way. That's for sure.
It was an unwinnable game in very raw Texas-like conditions.
Well, we got that was probably the coldest game in my life ever. Even going to school in South Bend, that was probably the worst weather I've ever played in that day. I think there were more people sitting outside the stadium in their RVs watching on TV than were in the stadium.
Was it icy? Was it real icy? I barely remember that game.
The night before, they had the worst ice storm that I've ever seen here.
Yeah,
I don't ever remember a bad weather day quite like that.
And there was talk about not even playing that game.
Yeah, there were 69 points scored, and the wind was blowing so hard that of those 69 points, 2 touchdowns were scored against the wind, and one of them was a punt block, and the other one was just on a bad punt that ended up having good field position. Other than that, you have all those points scored. And we got lucky because we had the fourth quarter with the wind. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster.
There wasn't a lot of luck involved in that.
I don't know.
At the end of that, wow.
They had the game on the other day, and I was watching it and my son just happened to turn it on, and he was watching the end of it, and I sat there. I tried to give the game away a few times.
Were you just in a daze out there that day? Because the legend has it that you were, like they had to give you fluids at halftime and give you stuff to warm up and whatnot.
Well, I typically, when it's cold, I try not to go from the field to the heater.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so cold, I sprinted. When it was third down, I had to get off the field. I ran right to the heater, and it gave me hypothermia, where my body temperature. Because when you go back out there, I'm always twice as cold when I go from the heater back to the cold. And so I ended up having hypothermia, and they really were what they were giving me. And whenever we play in a cold weather game, there's always some kind of chicken broth or beef broth. And
right.
They were just feeding me warm chicken broth to heat my core temperature back up to normal before they let me go back out on the field. Because I couldn't quit. At halftime, I just had to shake, so I couldn't stop shaking.
Were you more excited about the win or the fact that the game was over?
I was more excited when it was over.
What an honest answer.
I tried to, if you go back and watch the end of it, I tried to give it away a couple times there in the fourth quarter where I thought that I had done it.
You mentioned that how old is your son now?
I have 2. One's 15, one's 12.
Okay, so they pretty much know what's going on. But while you were playing and winning, then of course they weren't around. How is that, watching a game like that where they watch it with their dad and seeing him as a very young guy? Do they ask you a lot of questions, or you just brag, or what?
No, I usually don't talk much through the game, and they'll have a few questions, and then my youngest one's a lot more inquisitive than the older one. The older one, just got the perfect. Well, they both have great personalities for a quarterback. One's really intense and into it. The other's just laid back. Whatever happens, and he's forgotten the last play, whether it was good or bad, before he takes the next snap. And so one will ask 1 or 2 questions, the other one will just drill you. So you get it from both sides.
So they're both quarterbacks playing?
The oldest one is playing quarterback and wide receiver. The young one's playing quarterback. He's a linebacker. He returns punts, kickoffs. He never comes off the field, the other one.
Now, do you have all of your old games? Because if I had those games at my, if I played in all those big games, I'd certainly have them at my house, being an egotistical freak that I am. But do you have those laying around where the kids can watch them at their disposal?
No, not really. We have them stored away, and every now and then, sometimes my wife will pull one out and show the kids a game. And the colors look kind of funny on the game. I was telling someone the other day, I saw the catch game, and I used to think that it was vibrant color back then, but it looks like it's about 50 years old in the color scheme of things.
So after that pass was completed, it was blue around here for a while.
It sure was. Tell you what, let's take a break here and talk a little bit about that. Great Joe Montana with us here on Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket, and we'll have more with Joe right after this.
KTCK, Dallas-Fort Worth. KTBK, Sherman-Denison. KTDK, Sanger. Wake up with the Musers, Junior, Jub, and the Great Gordo's Observation Deck. Tomorrow morning at 6:30 on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
It is 5:55. This is Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. You're listening to The Hardline. We are very, very pleased to have Joe Montana here with us this evening. Now, Joe is here for high blood pressure, which has become an issue in his life over the last couple of years. And there's a website for you to go to if this is a problem for you, or even if it's not. It may be a problem for you and you don't even know about it. www.healthybp.com. There's also an 800 number, which I don't have in front of me here.
866-556-3866.
Check it out, boys, because it is the silent killer. It can sneak up on you. All right, we were talking a little bit about your days with the 49ers, and, of course, the game that comes to mind for all of us is the catch game. It's, everybody knows about that play. It was the play that turned the game, but regardless of all that, regardless of just that, that was just a wonderful football game all day long. I mean, it was just really exciting, very competitive all the way through.
Well, even after that play, it was still competitive.
Yeah, it was.
If it wasn't for Eric Wright.
Right.
Making a tackle by the back of the shoulder pads, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, I wonder if everyone, let's say that Pearson scores on that play and goes 80 yards or whatever it is, if people would even remember that play, the Joe to Dwight Clark play.
Oh, you knew that play right off the bat.
Yeah. Hey, we were all over it, weren't you? Around here, that play is never going to. So why don't you go ahead and set the record straight? You were trying to throw that ball away, right?
No, unfortunately, I was. I didn't think the ball was that high when I let it go. In fact, we had an equipment manager who'd been there forever that used to keep me laughing. He had some great old sayings. And when I came off the field, because I got knocked down, he said, "Boy, your buddy saved your ass that time." I said, "What are you talking about, Chico?" He goes, "He jumped out of the stadium to catch that." I go, "He did not." I said, "He's my roommate. I know. He's white. He can't jump." So, and I didn't believe that he jumped that high until I saw the replay after the game was over in the locker room. And it, I always tell people, it's one of those things where you take the ball, roll up a piece of paper and you throw it towards the trash can. And most of the time you know where it's going to go, high or low. And when I let it go, the ball, I thought it was arm's length above his head. That's why I was arguing with Chico about it. And I was shocked when I saw how high it was and how high he jumped. But good for him. Glad he caught it.
It's kind of amazing that you had to throw it over Too Tall Jones. I mean, he was right there in your face, and he's not a short guy himself.
No, And, he's actually the second receiver on that play, and Bill made us practice this. We had never thrown the ball to the second receiver, and we used the play a lot. And, we'd scored earlier in the game actually on the same play. But this time Freddie Solomon had fallen down, and so I didn't have a choice but to wait on Dwight. And it took a little longer than I expected. Maybe he was slow, too. It might help. But I don't think he was expecting me to have to throw the ball to him either. So I had to put the ball up over a little higher than I wanted when I released it. But it's still, I thought I threw it soft enough that it was coming back down.
Who was favored in that game? Do you remember? I mean, even though you guys were playing at home, were the Cowboys still favored? Because you guys were horrible 2 years prior to that.
Yeah,
this is like your coming out party.
We'd already beat the Cowboys once that year.
Oh, you had?
Yeah, earlier in the year.
And pretty bad, too, didn't you?
Yeah, so I think we may have been favored. And if not, it was pretty close. But I don't recall that part of it.
Is there anything about that game that people don't know that sticks with you?
What happens is that people think that we threw that ball all the way down the field. To get into that position, two things. One, we ran the ball most of the way.
Right.
And I shouldn't have had to throw the catch if I'd hit a wide open Freddie Solomon the play before. He was open there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him, and would have scored easily because I think he was either in the end zone or right on the one, and no one around him.
What happened on that? Did you just miss him?
I overthrew him by about 3 feet. So I was just happy I had another chance to redeem myself.
Do people talk to you as much about that game, the catch game, as they do your Super Bowl wins?
More than any other game. Really? Yeah, more than any other game, by far.
Because all your Super Bowl wins outside of that first one were pretty much blowouts, weren't they? Well, no, the other Cincinnati game, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we're noticing you're not wearing any Super Bowl jewelry, are you?
No. I keep them in the safe because, that you wear them on your right hand, or I do, and when you shake hands, those things hurt like heck. they leave imprints on your hand. So, and I'm always taking it off whether you're working out, and I just know I'd leave it somewhere, so it's not worth it.
Is the John Candy story, speaking of the Cincinnati
That's what I wanted
Super Bowl?
to ask, because I talked to Earl Cooper about this one time, and he said that in the Super Bowl, when against Cincinnati, I think it was in New Orleans, correct? Was it the Super Bowl
It was
That was
Cincinnati.
Tampa, wasn't
Yeah, Cincinnati was in Tampa.
Yeah.
No, not Tampa. It was in Miami.
Right. And you saw John Candy, right before you guys drove the ball down for the winning score, and you saw John Candy on the sideline, and you guys were talking about John Candy in the huddle?
Well, there's I offensive tackle Harris Barton, who played right tackle, he's always into people watching.
Yeah.
Who's at this game? You see so-and-so, and he's also the most uptight player. So he would stand in this position like a soldier straight up and down. TV timeouts then it got to be 7-8 minutes long, maybe longer. I'd already been to the sideline once or twice, and I'd come back out, and just as guys were standing there, there's a natural space between the shoulder pads, and he just happened to be framed between these two guys' shoulder pads on the sideline, and he was eating popcorn or something, and I figured Harris would be the only one that he would appreciate this, right? And then when I got over to him, I told him over there, and he just kind of looked over to the sideline, didn't move his body, and looked back at me like, why are you telling me this now?
You got about 2.5 minutes to go and 95 yards?
Yeah, that's a long time. We only needed a field goal. So
What'd you tell him? Just, hey, man, I just thought you might like to know.
Yeah, you're always talking about people. I figured you'd like to see John Candy.
Joe Montana here with us. It's been great having you up here today.
I appreciate the time.
And
thank you.
And for the high blood pressure website, once again, it is healthybp.com, www.healthybp.com.
Yep.
And what's the number?
866-556-3866.
All right. If you think you've got an issue with it, then get on that website, give that number a call, and get it straightened out.
Yes.
Grego knows.
Yeah.
That's great
to do that.
A fellow companion in the room, so that means there's 4 more people outside the room.
Yeah, somebody up here's got it. So hopefully they know about it.
All right, very good, Joe. Really been great having you up here. We appreciate it,
man.
Man.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
This is Joe Montana joining us here on Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket. All right, coming up next, Community Quick Hits.
Right.
Let us turn our attention to the world of hockey, where the well-known goaltender Lorne Gump Worsley has passed on to the next plane at the age of 77. He suffered a heart attack on January 22nd, and 3 days ago died at his home in Quebec at the age of 77. He is well known for his lengthy career with the Bleu Blanc et Rouge. He is a Canadian hockey legend. At the time of his retirement, he had played more games than any goalie in history except for one. He played virtually his entire career with no face mask.
Good God.
And he finished his career as a member of the Minnesota North Stars. And he wore a mask for the final 6 games of his career.
So only 6 games out of all those he...
Right. Did he wear a mask? He began his career in 1952 with the New York Rangers. And in 1963, he became involved in a proposed National Hockey League Players Union and was promptly traded to the Montreal Canadiens His teams won the Stanley Cup in 65, 66, 68, and 69. He won the Vezina in 68 and quit in the midst of the 69-70 season, feeling the pressure of performing in Montreal and thinking he was being phased out in favor of younger goaltenders. They tried to send him to their farm team in Nova Scotia. He wouldn't go and said he was retiring. He was lured out of retirement by the North Stars, and playing in tandem with Cesar Maniago, starred for parts of 5 more years before retiring at the age of 44. Now, a couple of other bullet points on him. He was well known for a fear of flying due to one flight in his amateur career that was nearly his last. And he also suffered a nervous breakdown in the 1968-69 season after a rough flight from Montreal to Chicago. And he received psychiatric treatment because of that and missed playing time as a result.
I got to vote yes.
Cobra?
Yeah, I vote him in.
Danny?
Boring!
Ty?
What does that mean?
No.
I'm going to say yes.
Groups?
Boring!
Following his leader, no doubt.
Deciding vote, Rhines.
All right, I too will say yes. I mean, this is a guy that even out here in the hockey hinterlands in the days of the original 6, you knew who this guy was.
Yeah.
Yes, he goes in. All right, now on to a far, far more tragic story. And I will tell you, this has got me just really tore up today, because this is a story that I've been following ever since it happened, and I was so pulling for the good ending here, but the end came today, and the end was not what I was hoping it would be. Let's consider the trifecta merits of Barbaro, who was euthanized this morning, following further and ongoing and apparently complications from the Kentucky Derby accident that just could not be overcome.
But they thought they had a pretty good chance to do this surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, did you read the USA Today account?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be okay.
Yeah, they tried a very radical surgery, which sounded kind of last ditch, and it seemed like they thought that was going to work. Of course, now they thought that before, too, and we should point out the doctor who has been overseeing Barbaro's attempted recovery, Dr. Dean Richardson, has been telling us all along that we should not get our hopes up. I mean, even when cause for optimism was fairly high, it seemed, in this thing, he was still trying to soft pedal everything and talk us all down a little bit. But it all ended for him today.
Terrible, man.
Yeah, and it was bad. I mean, they were going to have to put a screw through these two bones. And they said that if the bone breaks when they put this screw through there, then that's pretty much it. They just can't do anything. And so they asked the doctor about it, about, how likely is a break, and he is quoted saying, it's possible. It's a very small it's a small percentage, but it's often enough that if you have to at least mention it.
I didn't know that until you told me this morning that he was going through even more problems since last we talked about him about a month ago. I just thought everything was going to be okay.
No, it's really, I guess we all wanted it to be okay, and that may be the way, that may be why it always seemed like it would be okay, but really I guess the reality of this thing has been that it's always been one thing or another.
Yeah.
Just even when it looked like the thing might be turning around, something else, even though it might have seemed minor at the time, would pop up. And then the next thing you know, you'd have a fairly substantial setback, and today they just came to the realization that the horse would never be able to walk or stand without pain. So, Barbaro.
I don't even think we need to vote, but I vote yes.
You don't?
I don't. I mean, I'd make the motion. We don't even need to vote.
All right. Do we have any dissenting votes back at the mothership on this?
No.
Okay. Barbaro in a completed trifecta of E. Howard Hunt, Gump Worsley, and Barbaro.